Now, I must admit, I never thought in a million years I'd be making a video like this. I've never asked you, the viewers, to help me pray for someone. But I recently realized that the woman who put arsenic in my drink is actually crazier, way crazier than I thought. And as this has hit me, I realized that I've never actually met an individual that needs the power of prayer. So, I have to admit this video is like 50% humor. But as I was thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I was just kind of laughing about it in my mind. I'm like, I'm actually going to do this. So, if you're watching this, okay, in 2022, I was not looking to meet anyone. I was taking pictures of art around the lake, right? And I ended up meeting someone. And next thing you know, we're chatting and we exchanged numbers. And within a short amount of time, we're hanging out every single day for 3 months. I worked at home on my laptop. She worked right beside where I lived. So she would just stop by before and after work, right? Sometimes we'd hang out twice a day. And this could get a little strange because not everybody is aware of the individuals that are out there that have these abilities, but I've become extremely aware of just how prevalent this actually is since 2015. But there's individuals out there that have the ability to, when you come in contact with them or when they connect with your energy on the phone, this or that, they're capable of reading your energy. And if you were like me before 2015, you'd be like, well, what the heck does that mean? Imagine everything you've done in the last 3 months written down as a book. Like every time you sat down, stood up, took a drink of water, everything you did was written down for 3 months in a book. When you come up to them, it's like they get a download of all that within seconds. Their brain works a little bit differently, trust me. I've dated enough of these girls to understand this. And this was someone who was capable of reading my energy. And so, I thought we had all these things in common, but I was just being manipulated, right? And I didn't even want someone. I was already like emotionally unavailable from a past connection. I wasn't looking for anyone, right? Even though it was kind of, yeah, whatever. Anyways, a woman who would, start sending me black magic as we're like hanging out. And, originally she wanted me to get into a car accident. I had bought a brand new SUV at the time and she wanted me to get into a car accident. So she ends up crashing her SUV, right? And then she decided to start sending me, death spells as we're hanging out. I think we're having a pretty good time. And, she had 100-pound plus pit bull that ended up, getting cancer and dying like within days. And this was a woman who was prevalent in black magic and she knew what was going on. She knew the energy she was sending to me was going back. And this is a woman who, would file all these fake reports to on the most common online dating sites and get me banned for life to the point where I had to contact an officer in the Surrey department and tell him, this has gone on long enough. And he called her and she admitted to doing it. So I know everyone I got banned from was from her. And I also got banned from, Facebook Marketplace because of the fake reports she filed, right? And, this was a woman who knew because she could read my energy that I had never introduced a woman I had been with since I got divorced in 2019. I had never introduced a woman to my son, right? So she's like, oh, why don't we go out and have dinner with your son? So for me it was kind of a big deal, right? And just days after that occurred, we went out and had a great time. She puts a lethal dose of arsenic in my drink, right? And so I thought that's pretty bad, right? But I recently received a comment, and sometimes the energy, you can just read the energy. Sometimes the person's energy comes through a text. And she left a comment recently on a video where I was talking about how many people have lost their lives in car accidents, sending me black magic. And she sends me this message on social media bragging about how she was a accident survivor, and it had the same, she linked the name that she was using in the fake account to the old account that we used to connect to, so I knew it would be her, right? And here's a woman after all of this is still almost bragging or just so lost, basically. So I want to take a minute and I just want to say, because there was a time, I was looking in her eyes and I seen the amount of Christ consciousness, I seen the amount of Christ consciousness that was in there. And I actually felt like I had a visitation from Jesus right before we were going into the restaurant. I was like, holy shit, like, what the fuck was that? Like, anyways, so I just, I've never met an individual that needs the power of prayer like I've met with like this woman. Okay, so let's just say, dear Jesus, please send this individual some love and clarity so they can see the wickedness of their ways. That's it. Thank you, Jesus, my man. I love you. I never thought I'd be making a video like this, but I never thought I'd be meeting a woman like this either.